Hi guys, welcome back to my giraffes and my broken foot. Ow, ow. Shouldn't have done that. Shouldn't have done that. But anyway, I think I'm kind of compensating for talking about a much serious topic today. Today I'm going to be talking about stuff that's going on with David Dobrik and how that's affected me as someone who used to be his fan. I'm just a sensitive girl who's very angry at the situation. I'm going to divide this video into 3 parts, kind of like for the people who don't know David Dobrik or what is happening, then how and why it affects me, and why is it so important to talk about this. I will put the timestamps in the description below, so for the people who know David Dobrik can just skip over. David Dobrik is a YouTuber influencer. I don't know if you can call him a YouTuber anymore because he hasn't posted in a while. His main platform is TikTok currently, but I'm going to be, since I'm going to be talking about his YouTube videos and how that has influenced me, I'm just gonna refer to him as a YouTuber and focus on his YouTube career. So he came over from Vine and started posting on YouTube around 2015. This was when I was in 11th grade. I was like 14 years old and I started watching his videos around when I was 15. They gained a lot of traction by then. He basically posted a short vlog. A lot of people talked about it, how it was kind of like a sitcom but like a really short one with his ensemble of friends known as the Vlog Squad. They would go partying a lot and they would do a lot of crazy things. Towards the end, I think they were doing a lot of science hacks as well. Currently, as of today when I'm filming 27th March, his subscriber count on his main channel is 18.5 million and on his second channel is 8.6 million. And on his views podcast, it is 1.7 million, which he hosts with Jason Nash. Oh my god. Sorry, I'm just really scared to talk about my opinions, so this is gonna be a fun video. He's gained a lot of negative traction recently because of his past content that's come out. So I think when this seriously started to come out was one of his Vlog Squad members named Seth, who's black, came out saying that he's apologetic for the kind of content he made along with David Dobrik. After George Floyd was murdered and the Black Lives Movement gained a lot more traction, he felt like he was racist and he did participate in it back then, and he does hold himself accountable for the kind of content he made and allowed David Dobrik to make. A lot of people spoke up against Seth, saying that he was just doing this for views. They basically did not listen to any of his arguments. After that, another member of the Vlog Squad, Big Nick, came out, who suffers from a lot of medical conditions and also dwarfism. I don't think I should use suffers from dwarfism. I don't know the exact way, so correct me if I'm wrong, but he has dwarfism, which is a genetic disorder. He used to again be the butt of the jokes a lot because of that, because of his dwarfism and because of his medical conditions. He came out saying that he used to feel uncomfortable, and when he raised that up, he was kicked out of the Vlog Squad. Basically, the amount of times I say basically, but he was kind of kicked out of the Vlog Squad because he wouldn't participate in the bits anymore. So when all of this was happening, another previous member of the Vlog Squad, Trisha Paytas, who has been loud and proud about how she does not like them, because Trisha used to date Jason Nash, who is David's best friend, and David used to make a lot of jokes slut shaming Trisha, and he used to make Jason kiss other people, and he used to crack jokes about Jason having threesomes with other people. Trisha had a very public breakup and a public dislike towards David Dobrik and the entire Vlog Squad for how they treated her and how their relationship went down, how toxic they made everything for her. Alongside that, when all of this was happening, people were bringing up things about how David Dobrik's vlogs were so sexist, they were slut shaming, they were basically all kind of problematic things were in his vlogs. But at this point as well, there were people giving him a certain leeway. Recently, a past event came to light where David Dobrik, oh my god, why am I saying his full name so much when I can't pronounce it? Basically, recently an insider article came out talking about how David Dobrik's childhood best friend, who was also part of the vlog squad, had committed crime, which is, sorry, makes me really anxious. He basically raped minors. Basically, for the bit, two other vlog squad members, Todd and Jeff, got alcohol and a minor drank it, and when she was passed out, Dom raped her. And there was a sober member there, but she wasn't able to do anything, and both of them came out and spoke up about this. A lot of previous allegations against Dom came out as well, where under the pretense of David's videos, or through the help of the bits that through the help of the bits that he would do for David's vlogs, he would commit assault. And victims had spoken about it before as well, who had been hushed, their careers had plummeted because they spoke up about it, and David did not believe them. But recently there has been more proof. I don't want to talk about what Dom did because it is extremely serious, it is a crime, and I don't think it's my place to talk about it. But talking about David, he essentially victim blamed and created a very hostile environment for the victim, and basically created an environment in which a crime could be perpetuated. Since all of this has come up, David has lost 300,000 subscribers out of his 19 million subscribed YouTube channel. He lost just 300,000 subscribers over the past 30 days. On his second channel, he lost only 70,000 subscribers, and on his Views podcast, he actually gained 200,000 subscribers in the past month. He has gained 200,000 subscribers, and in terms of views, he's deleted a lot of videos. 16.8 main channel has negative 16.8 million views because of the amount of videos that he's deleted in the past month. Since these allegations have come out, all the major brands that were associated and affiliated with David Dobrik have dropped him. Sorry, I can't pronounce his name for crying out loud. But they've dropped him, and until that had happened, he hadn't actually made a proper apology video except for a 2-minute video on his Views podcast. So once the brands dropped him, he created an apology video, and recently he's also reached out to Big Nick personally to apologize. The apology video basically was towards the victim, saying that he was sorry that he created this environment, and then that he does not condone any actions. He did not want to believe that his childhood best friend was capable of such things. And a lot of people commented on how they felt it was sincere, that's okay, the like to dislike ratio wasn't as bad. But a lot of people also did point out the fact that he did not make this video until he got dropped by the brands. So essentially saying that money speaks. Now on to how David affected me growing up. So backstory to me. I lost vision from one eye, kind of. I was put on steroids and I bloated up quite a bit because I was on steroids for my treatments. And I used to get bullied a lot in school. After that, I went to a doctor to figure out why things are happening to my eye around 11th grade, which is 14 years old, and she started giving me a lot of medication. Later on, we found out that she was giving me a lot of medication to keep me as her patient, medical malpractice essentially. But I was taking 22 medicines a day, sleeping 18 hours for a day. I was like constantly sick and depressed, and that was my life. And whenever I tried to go to school, there were a bunch of boys that make fun of my weight, and if I tried to play football, they'll call me a football. There was People called me attention seeking because the teachers would pay attention to me if I came to school. My attendance was 24% because I was extremely sick and I couldn't go to school. Wow, this is revealing a lot to the internet. This is insane. But I think this needs some context. And when I used to stay at home, I used to only watch YouTube videos. That was my only form of escape. I watched Law DIY, who I still stand, by the way. I love Law DIY, Try Guys, Lily Singh. I watched Alex Wasabi because I was watching Law DIY and they were dating at that time. And I watched Daniel Howell, Amazing Phil. Basically, I used to watch a lot of YouTubers. They used to be my escape, and two of them were David Dobrik and Liza Koshy. I didn't really follow the Vlog Squad members specifically, but I started following David Dobrik around 2015-2016, and I used to watch his videos religiously. For me, he was kind of like the cool friend that I never had because I wasn't really in touch with my friends at that point of time. I mean, I was awake for 6 hours in the day. And his videos kind of became a way for me to keep my feelings in check. Not just his videos, any kind of media that I consumed. I watched Friends at that point of time, and I decided how to behave around my sister based on how the characters Ross and Monica would behave with each other, which is not right on my part. But I mean, I was a 14-15-year-old depressed girl with too many medicines in her body, and you know what, I'm not gonna justify this. I was very much influenced by the media around me, and David Dobrik was one of them. Amount of bullying that used to go on in his videos with Big Nick, I thought that was okay because that was happening with me too. So I would give a pass to the people in my school because I thought that if David's doing this, then even they have the right to do it. Now that I think about it, it seems so stupid in retrospect that I allowed people to bully me because I was sick. Because some guy on the YouTube did that to someone. And it was just really, it was just really hurtful for me. Like, after I went to college and all, I obviously distanced myself from the videos that I watched of him. I used to find it really uncomfortable, but there was this hold on me. The things that I had watched during that time that had really influenced how I judged the world by, I had basically created an internalized hatred for myself and my sickness because of the kind of jokes that they were making on their vlogs. Which is kind of insane, but it's true. Kids do get influenced by media a lot. Like a lot. It's insane how much I let it influence me. But when someone called me attention seeking, I would be like, yeah, they're right to make this joke because David can make this joke with Corena. When someone would make fun of my illness, I'm like, yeah, they're right because David can do that. I mean, obviously it wasn't just him, it was other medias as well, but his vlogs were a major part of it. They were a huge part of everything. Like, the amount of sexualizing people that went on in his vlogs. Like, I mean, Jason's character Carmelita, just the absolute worst. Just everything. And I have watched that vlog in the past, and I'm sure that if this would have come out when I was 15 and watching all of this unfold, I would have thought to myself that, yeah, David's apologized, it's fine. It's fine for people to create this kind of environment because they aren't directly the perpetrators, which is extremely wrong. I'm sorry, I'm very emotional about this because I have been through things in the past. I mean, I'm a girl. Not surprising. I thought it was okay for guys to objectify me like that because it was done all over media. It was done in a YouTuber's vlogs that I looked up to. That it's something that is okay. It just breaks me to think back to Ashu from the past. I just want to console her. I just want to tell her to stop watching these videos. But anyway, I've spoken on for far too long about this. But I guess this is why I wanted to speak about why it's so important. I know we call YouTubers, TikTokers, and all of these Instagram people influencers and like make fun of the word influencers, but it is extremely true. A lot of them garner a young audience who are very, very likely to be influenced by them in the kind of environments they create. They're very likely to put their standards of what is right, what is wrong based on what the influencers think are right and wrong. And us letting it slide by like that could hurt another Ashu, could create another space for another victim. I'm not even 1% as affected as the victims in the actual situation were, and I am so heartbroken. I am so angry. I can't even imagine people who are actually there. The people around David Dobrik should have stopped him. I mean, Jason Nash was in his 40s. If we hold them to zero accountability, then so many more people are going to get hurt that could have been prevented. I'm sorry. This probably was a very haphazard rant. I had like all nice notes and all, but then I got too emotional because remembering my high school days is not the easiest thing for me. Because there weren't like outright bullies pushing me around or hurting me. There was snide comments. I created a say at me once, which was basically like you can put on anonymous messages there. As soon as I created, within 2 minutes, it was flooded with like 15-16 messages of how shitty I am, attention seeking I am, how I shouldn't try to be around the pretty girls of my school and things like that. How unlucky I was that all the guys from my high school were sitting in the same room and saw my say at me the minute I created it. My fault. Should have had a better timing. Huh. But my point is that there are a lot of people out there who consume content online. A lot, obviously. No, if we can, we should try and engage in this conversation to create more awareness about these situations and like extremely toxic environments. This is easier for me to talk about because it's all unfolding online. But what if it happens around me? It's just, I don't know. I don't even know what point I'm trying to make anymore. I got very, very emotional and now I feel like crying, and I'm just a sensitive girl who's very angry at the situation. That at one point even she was a supporter of such a toxic environment. Just disappointed in myself that instead of like pointing out what I thought was wrong, I internalized everything that was wrong, which is just the stupidest thing to do, but what's been done is done. But yeah, thanks for listening to my rant, letting me vent out, because I hate bottling up my feelings, especially when I'm this mad. If you like this video, or you just like me, or I don't know, you've reached this part somehow, like, comment, share, subscribe, everything. Who's there? Hi Bhuma Devi. 2 நிமிஷம் கொடுங்க. Anyway, I hope this gave some insight into something and helped in some way, somehow.